guess I should have parked there. Anyway, good morning everyone. I am at Puffer's Pond in Amherst, Massachusetts, and also the Brook recreation area, which is attached to it. It's a beautiful little pond formed by dams and built in like the early 1800s, a very old area. You can walk a big loop around the pond, see a massive waterfall, one of the biggest in Mass actually, then walk down the brook to another cool park, and then we're gonna walk all the way back. Anyway, check out this pond. And there's an even larger public beach over on the other side. I've seen people swimming in both. So from that pond where you park, you can walk counterclockwise around Puffer's Pond. You go by a hill up here called Pulpit Hill. There's some trails up to the top. It's only like 100 feet up to the top, but it's got some great vistas. I love parks like this because the area around it is all, developed. This is a very urbanized and suburbanized part of the country, and then you have these little enclaves. It's just like 1,000 acres. They're small little plots. They do what they can, but it's so peaceful, and this spot is just a great place in Central Mass to sit and think. Puffer's Pond. UMass Amherst is just about 2,000 feet south of this pond. It's right down the freaking street. Halfway across the pond, I come across this H.H. Jackson Trail, which goes up Pulpit Hill, and it connects to a trailhead called the Robert Frost Trail, which I didn't even know was there. Robert Frost is, of course, a famous poet, one of the most famous American poets ever. I know he's from New England. I thought he's from New Hampshire. I was trying to find out why this trail is called the Robert Frost Trail. It's named in honor of him. It's inspired by a famous quote of his. But this trail actually goes for something like 90 or 100 miles. It's one of the longest hiking trails in Massachusetts. I had no idea. State Street is this road, which is one way. It kind of dissects this whole recreation area. You can actually walk upstream for a couple of miles. I'm gonna do that before completing the loop around the pond. Apparently we're back on the Robert Frost Trail. Oh, this is pretty cute. Looks like there's a little herd bath down to a mini beach. I guess you can wade in down there at a cute little bend in the river. Next thing we pass are some stone ruins. This must have been one of the old mills that used to be here. My guess is that was a grist mill. I can tell by the stonework and the shape of it. I used to have grist mills back where I lived in Peru growing up. They were in the woods. They're very old. They were like the oldest mills in our country. They were just basically used for grinding flour. Nice little bridge here over the creek. You can kind of see looking upstream, that's where we're going. I think this is the Robert Frost Trail. It seems slightly more wild than this main one which goes to the street. I'm gonna walk that one. Yes, this is the Robert Frost Trail. It actually goes, I'm going southbound on it, but I don't want to walk for 60 more miles, so I'm going to turn around right up here. I'm kind of veering far away from the river anyway and going into the woods. It's very nice this time of year, but I want to complete that loop around the pond and show you guys that waterfall. I keep getting distracted, folks. That's what I love about places like this where there's all these side trails coming off of it, or like a major interstate trail like the Robert Frost Trail going right through it. You can just kind of get lost here and spend a whole day if you wanted to. And maybe do some nature photography too. There's a guy down there shooting something. Somehow found myself on the other side of that gorge where there's no bridge to cross it except for this fallen log. Dare I cross it in my sandals? Oh yeah, man, it's slippery. All right, we're gonna do this, but I'm gonna straddle it. I am not gonna just walk it. It's way too slippery and way too curved. Yeah, it's either this, folks, or take off my shoes and ford this little stream, which I'm too lazy to do. I love doing stuff like this anyway. You see what I'm doing right here? Yeah, I gotta get to there. Well, that was kind of fun. Yeah, I didn't walk, I straddled it, but hey, folks, I didn't want to die. Anyway, I'm getting back to that little mini beach that I noticed earlier. All right, this is very cute. It looks like they actually truck in sand here so people can enjoy it more. I'm so tempted to take off my clothes and go for a swim in that. Oh man, that felt good. The wet hair is proof that it happened, folks. If you need more proof than that, yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna show that. But it is starting to rain, so I'm gonna complete that loop around the pond, show you guys that waterfall I keep fucking yapping about, and let's get this show on the road. This here is the other major public beach on Puffer's Pond. I imagine this beach gets very popular in the summer. Right now it's starting to rain, folks, but that's another plus side to skinny dipping. I'm already soaked, it doesn't bother me. And here's the second house that has lakefront property. I won't show you the main house to protect their privacy, but they built a little gazebo on the ledge just overlooking the waterfall. And you can hear it coming up. Here it is. Puffin's Falls. This is actually the third tallest single drop waterfall in Massachusetts, after Bash Bish and Royalston, both of which are natural. This one is obviously man-made, so I'm not sure if it counts. Still, it's a good 25 feet. But where I'm heading right now is at this trailhead where you can see the signs right there. This is Mill Brook. You can walk down this about a mile or two, and it empties out at a big park, and then I'll walk up the other side and get back to my car. They planted these little snippets from children's stories on plaques that are kind of permanently affixed, and there are tons of them all along the trail. Honestly, I don't like stuff like this. I think it's tacky. I think it's pollution. I think it's an eyesore. You can see how many of them there are. I mean, there's like 4 visible in this shot. I love hiking in November. Isn't it very enchanting how all the light can just come through the woods? There's a lot of little trails, social trails going off to the side here, just to the nearby streets, I guess. There's also some old fence posts in the woods, stone hedgerows. I guess at one point this land was a farming community. This is the easternmost stretch of the preserved part of the property. This is Mill Brook. There were once a bunch of mills here, something like a dozen grist mills and paper mills in the early 1800s. A dam broke, destroyed a bunch of them. They had to be rebuilt in like 1850. Most of those mills, if not all of them, are all gone now, obviously. But the original brook itself and the pond that most of the mills created is still there. The easternmost part of the trail empties out into a public park. There's a baseball field, public swimming pool. Kind of a nice place. From that park, the trail continues along the northern side of the brook back to where the waterfall is. I noticed this little plaque right here. I'm not sure what it's all about. Let's see. Let's take a look. It's a little plaque dedicated to someone who helped preserve all this land. Here I'm encountering my first old ruins of a dam. No longer in use, but clearly still standing. The brook isn't really running now because it's November. I'm choosing not to walk along the river all the way back. I kind of want to walk in this street right here, State Street. See some of Amherst. There's a lot of beautiful old Victorian architecture preserved all around here. So this area is known as the Mill District. It's gorgeous. I'm sure this real estate is very, very valuable. I'm walking along Summer Street, and right here off to the side, it's a little trail that goes back to that Mill Brook. So I didn't even know this was here. I'm gonna take it. Another beautiful old bridge over this Mill Brook, and I can see we got more of those children's story plaques coming up. And here we are coming back on Puffer's Falls. I find the stonework on that very interesting. You don't see many dams built like that anymore. I think it was built in 1850. And up ahead, getting back to my van. It always feels so good to get back to my van and see it's right where I left it. Well, I hope you guys like this video. This is one of those hidden gem videos, one of those great places to stop and stretch your legs. You won't even know a place like this is here, and you can spend half a day here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go shoot the sunset somewhere. This might be the end of the video. Hope you liked it. I'll see you guys next time.